Hey guys, what's going on? I'm responding to a comment where somebody just asked if I could do an update on Jason Bond's small account journey service. And this is one that I was really excited about earlier in the year. Jason had managed to take a $2,000 account, and by selling bull puts, he turned it into 30 odd thousand. And it was really exciting, and I got really excited about it. And then, unfortunately, it turns out that the strategy is very, very risky and very prone to market pullbacks. So, unfortunately, Jason's 30,000 profits or whatever it was ridiculous. It was a really phenomenal achievement. Turned to zero pretty quickly, shortly after I did a video on it. And I even sat down with Jason just before that happened and did an interview. You can see this middle video here, this Jason Bond Small Account Challenge journey live question and answer. And so at this point he was at 25,000, and that was just 4 months ago. And so he basically went up a bit more, and then it blew up. And people obviously were frustrated about that because they probably saw this video and sat down and were like, okay, cool, this is great, let's try it. And as soon as people joined, and as soon as they joined, the market pulled back, and his strategy, which does tend to work better in bullish markets, it started to become much harder. And so the idea of today's video is just to go through some of that information again, and also show you guys like the last 5 to 10 challenges he's done. And this is something that's been frustrating a lot of subscribers, is he blows these things up fairly quickly on a fairly regular basis. And the plus side to that is they often do run up pretty quickly, from 2,000 to between 5 and even $10,000 in profits, before a couple of hits tend to knock them right back down to where he started. And of course, if you're in the ones that knock the things right down and you haven't had a chance to build that account up, then you're going to be very frustrated. And I think it's part of the problem is that people are trying to come in with small amounts of money and hit that $100,000 profit mark that one day Jason may hit. The difference is Jason is net positive overall in this because he keeps resetting. So he'll make like a tiny profit on a journey after it goes up massively and then back down, and he'll just keep reloading and reloading, whereas subscribers can't really do that, or a lot of people can't really do that. So there are a couple of solutions. One is to not join Small Account Journey and join Theta Traders instead, which my friend Lance runs, and it's a similar trading strategy, but it's way more diverse. You won't make the massive gains that Jason can make, but you also won't make the massive losses where you basically give it all back. So what's the point in making a ton of gains, right, if you're just going to give them all back? This is one of the best services I've ever been part of, and there are several different things. And one of the things that's really good is we sell puts on futures, which are really, really good. Something to really look into. But we also do some credit spread alerts, 0 DTE SPX alerts, strangles, all sorts of stuff. You can come to the website, I'll put a link in the description below. So if you like selling options, like doing spreads in similar ways to what Jason does, I would suggest actually checking out Theta Traders. I think it's like kind of the tortoise and the hare type of approach. Like you'll actually get to the finish line doing the slower, more conservative stuff than doing the actual crazy, like try to grow your account as fast as possible. There's one exception to that, and I'll talk about that in one way that I think, and other people have told me, you can do with Jason's small account journey that actually does work. And so you can kind of hack the system, so to speak. So I'll leave a link in the description to the review. I'm going to update it soon as well. But basically, this will give you all the information you need about the strategy and everything, and some of the links to join. And here are some of the things that I've started to put in from early on. So in first quarter challenge 1, you can see this is part of the problem. I'm going to put the latest challenge up in a second, but you can see the strategies, bull put spreads, the size, the entries and everything. They're usually swing trades. Jason grew like this one. This was one of the very early accounts, from 2,000 to 8,000 very quickly, like within a month or so. This is the entries here. So yeah, within about a month. Now, if he had just stopped there, everything would have been golden. Like that's an amazing return, gone from 2,000 to 8,000 in a month. or if you just keep a tight stop on the losers. Unfortunately, Jason's great. I know Jason quite well. I really like him, and this isn't really like criticism. It's just that the risk management seems to be the thing that's going to kill people here. Now, if you're already a reasonable trader and you can manage your own trades with this service, I think you'll do really well. I know a few people that do, and that's because Jason has this really high risk tolerance where he's just like, somehow he's happy to give back all the gains in one trade. Doesn't always happen, and I'll show you in this latest journey that he's actually handling that well. But honestly, there's been like a dozen journeys now, and they all end the same way. So they all go green for a long time, and then they go horribly red back to zero. So a lot of people have just tuned out of the service, unfortunately. Like, I think that's a mistake. I think one trick here is to take the first 5 to 10 trades of every journey and keep a tight stop just in case things go bad. And I think you could make consistent, very high percentage returns on your money. Even just taking the first 5 trades here would have doubled your initial investment. And then you stop, and then you start when he resets and does another journey. And so it's not a conventional way to do it. The other way to do it is that Jason is doing these spreads really close to the money, which means that they can make a lot of money quickly, but if it goes against you, they can lose a lot of money really quickly, like max loss type of situation. So you can change the spreads and things based on what Jason is doing. So you base them on his alerts, but you don't follow the same like risk. You reduce the risk a little bit on the trades, so you can kind of tailor them to your own feeling. And honestly, people should be doing that with alert services in general. Like, you shouldn't just blindly follow stuff. You should adapt. And the people that I know that are doing that are doing really well with the small account journeys. So that was very early on in 2023. Same thing happened again with this one. It went up like 200% and then it blew up. Let's see more. So here's the interview I did with Jason. Just kind of looking through this article. Okay, so let's go on to the stuff that's relevant for today, which is logging into the dashboard. Here's the current status of the small account journey. Hopefully you guys can see this on your screen. Let's see if there's a way to make it a little bit bigger. Try and zoom in. There we go. So you can see he's doing the usual tickers that he always does, and that Meta, Tesla, Amazon, NVDA. So all the big names. These are the bull put strategies. These are the spreads that he's doing. And it's obviously 5 with. This is the expiration. The entries here. So he's very close to expiration. So 4 days. So things like that you can change, and it can make things a lot less risky. And overall his strategy works, but it mainly works in a bull market. It doesn't seem to work very well in down markets. But you can see, and I'll show you more examples. You start with $2,000. He is fine for quite a few trades. Look at this. I mean, it turns 2,000 into 8,000 in the space of, 2 weeks or something. So this is amazing trading. The problem is it's not sustainable. So then he takes a massive hit here. He loses $6,000 on this guy. And then it's back to being green. So even though this journey is still positive, and I think a lot of people would have given up at this point, especially if they joined later in the journey, for example, and they would have freaked out because it's a huge loss, max loss on this thing. But it looks like he managed to still pull through, and he's still really nicely green on this after a month and a half. But there is a caveat to this. So the caveat is that the market has been super bullish since he started this journey in the middle of November. Right here, the market has basically gone straight up. And so that's what I've seen time and time again, is if the market is bullish, Jason does really well with these. And if it's not so bullish, or like, for example, back here, it tends to be that, these small account journeys just don't work that well. By the way, what you're looking at here is one of my favorite indicators. It's called Algo Pro, and it works really well. This is the daily time frame on SPY, and you can see that the signals are pretty much spot on on each one. There's occasionally there'll be like a fake out here, but most of the time these signals work really, really well. So I'll leave a link in the description to go and check it out. I've had so much great feedback from people that have watched my videos about Algo Pro that this is something that they've found to be really, really helpful. So going back to here, Jason's very transparent, and I think he seems a little bit, I don't know, goes a little bit off the rails sometimes. I think he's very sensitive to people's criticism about his stuff, so there's a nice chat room that's really useful, and sometimes if he gets mad and people are making mad comments, he'll delete it, so it's kind of unprofessional, and you know, I'm trying to give a fair review of this service, like, so you're going to get the bad as well as the good. The good is it does actually work, and it works better in bull markets. It works the best in bull markets and if you control your own risk. So you learn the strategy which is recommended, and then you won't get caught in the losing trades, and you'll have some nice green trades as well. So overall, I still recommend this service. I just have to say that you have to know what you're getting into, and hopefully this video is gonna help with that, right? So here's the chat room. Let's have a quick look at it. Let's see if there's any comments. Hopefully, I don't think there'll be any live chat from Jason at the moment. I think the stream should be offline. Let's just have a look at the chat box and see what people are saying, if there's any happy or angry members. Let's have a look. So just kind of looking through it. Looks like they're talking about other stuff here. So it looks like they're talking about their wins on Meta, Amazon. People taking wins on these bull puts. Yeah. So everybody seems happy at the moment, and that's what you'd expect from a service that's going well. So that's pretty cool. Signed up for this last night and this happened today, so you made $1,300. Already paid for itself many times over in less than 24 hours. Okay, well, that's the chat room. If I show you the rest of the journals, so the cool thing is, Jason's really good at keeping journals. Now every time something gets shuffled around, I get people screaming, he's trying to hide his results. But they're back, it looks like, journals 1 to 10. So these are the journeys, the different journeys, so we can kind of scroll through those. But I don't think Jason's ever trying to hide stuff. I really don't. I think he's transparent about everything. You can see them all down here. So we'll just go through them one at a time really quick. I'm not going to go through every trade in them or anything, but I want to show you this pattern that I keep seeing. Again, $2,000. I'll try and zoom in here. It makes it awkward though because I have to like scroll to get like here. Okay, so 2,000 to 8,000 and then lost it all. Then resets the journey. So that was journey 1. But again, if you traded those first few before the tsunami hits, again 2,000 to 5,000, then loses it all. Journey 3. That one basically blew up straight away. That's not normal though. That was like one trade and then the second one blew up. That was one of the very early things. He keeps refining his strategy. You see, look at this beautiful thing. This one went from 2,000 to 12,000, then he took an $8,000 loss. Then it went to 12,000 again. I think this was the one that went all the way up to like 30,000, yeah. So he is capable of taking losses in here and still maintaining. We got to 29,000, then took some losses. Not huge losses though, then kept going 31,000. Yeah, this is the best one to date. Then this hit. This is the problem. He lost like all of it, like very quickly. This devastated him. I could tell from listening to his live streams that he was very upset with this. He thought he had it wired, like, at this point. Number 5. And by the way, the reason these are so finicky is because if you want to have this high reward, this ridiculous, insane turn 2,000 into 50,000 or $100,000 in a year or 6 months or whatever, you have to take these ridiculously high risks. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for people complaining about a service that's deliberately... This is the whole point of it. It's like, it's, you know, anyway, same thing here though. You can see again, if you take the trades when it first starts, you can get 5 to 10 trades and really turn 2,000 into 7,000 or 8,000, you know, before it then blows up and he resets. So I'm just going to keep going here. Number 6. Number 6, 2 trades, then blew up. Number 7. Again, though, here you can get 2, 4, 6, 7, 7 trades. So again, 2,000 to 6,000. Then it blew up. And part of this is the reason that these trades blow up after, so many is he continues to compound it, which is what you have to do to make a lot of money quickly. But also, if it goes wrong, you end up losing the entire amount that you made. So again, there's a small loss here, recovered from that, got to 6,000 here, and then blew up again. Okay, we're nearly there. 2 more, this one and 1 more. Okay, this was again a very quick one. Boom, reset, starting over. He's always changing and adapting the strategy, and so hopefully he'll get to the one that we're on now. So this one did 6,000, lost a bit, sort of hovered around 6,000. 2,000 to 6,000 is still amazing. Then he blew it up. So you can see a recurring theme here, and I highly recommend the service if you can get it at a decent price. Learn the strategy and adapt it for your own risk tolerance, or do something kind of sneaky where you just trade the first few each time, or you really learn how to manage these better than Jason himself does. There is ways to do it that Jason hopefully will slowly start teaching more and more as he starts to realize that this is maybe, giving it all back after 10 trades is not the best way to do things. Alternatively, you can just come and join Theta Traders and slowly and steadily grow your account without the stress of blowing up every few weeks. Here's what else you get. So you get some stop loss strategy. Let's see what the stop loss strategy is. If it's a video, I'm not going to be able to watch it. So yeah, this is good though. You can see he's admitting his mistakes here. And you have to be fair on this guy. Like, he has been able to make some serious gains. It's keeping the gains that's always the hard part with all trading as well. But also the fact he's very open and transparent about the problems and the losses he's having and the problems in this strategy. And some people are mad, but, I think there's some people out there that are really making some consistent money using this strategy as a base kind of idea. So he's saying here, the big mistake I'm making with the 2,000 small account journey is my stop loss strategy. To examine that, and so he's gone on that. So I'm hoping that that's what he's implementing in this most recent journey. Let's see, go back here. So if we go back to the trade journal, this is the most recent one that I showed you right at the start, and he has recovered from this loss so far. It's back to 4,000. Still an amazing achievement to double your money in the space of a month. So I wish just at this point though he would lock in profits and start again. I think that would be the best thing he could do for his subscribers. But he still is completely fixated on turning 2,000 into 100,000, and one of these days maybe he'll make it. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully you guys understand a little bit more about what's been going on over the last few months with Jason Bond's small account journey. And like I said, it's not for me at the moment. I'm more of a slow and steady person these days, and I don't highly recommend this to somebody who's like maybe a beginner with $2,000 and thinks they're going to join this and make that $2,000 turn into $50,000. I would say definitely that's not going to happen. If you're an intermediate trader who's wanting to learn this strategy, but prepared to put in the work to adapt it to be less stressful and less risky, I think you'd really enjoy the service, especially at the low prices they're offering it at the moment. So yeah, check it out, and I'll talk to you guys soon.